number 6 of our spring mini series. We are working on a pink version of our spring mini folk art, Hungarian folk art piece. And if you are just joining me, then make sure you go back to see the first 2 videos, the intro video and block 1, because there I explain how you prep your fabrics and what stitches I use and why. And it'll give you all the things that you need to get started. We have done our block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, block 5, and now we're on block 6. Block 6 is actually 2 blocks. It's our bird and our bird in reverse. So let's get stitching. Block 6 calls for our dark pink, our peach, our yellow, and some black and some white. I used a scrap of white that sort of has some swirls in it, so feel free to get to explore with your white fabric. Gives some interesting dimension to the eye. I also have all my threads and I'm ready to go. Block 6 has a pattern that is on the right side and then it is also reversed. So all I did was I turned over my page and then copied the same line through, and then I will use the back page as my reversed copy for that bird. All right, I am going to start by doing the first part of the bird and just tracing that out. All right, before I go and turn over my page to do the reversed section, I'm going to draw a line here so that I can say that this is the right side. And then I can go ahead and turn over the page. That way I know that I've got one that's reversed. And I don't have to write a reversed or anything like that on all of them. Whatever it takes to make sure that you're keeping them straight as to which ones are reversed, which ones are the real ones. And with this one, I kind of have an idea of what the colors are in my head. So I haven't written those down either. But if you need to, absolutely, this is the time to do it. I went ahead and put an R in all the ones that weren't the right side. That way I know which ones are which. The main parts, the eyes don't really matter, right? But the wings and the body and the feet are definitely going to matter. So I'm just rough cutting out with my paper scissors, and then we can get to the fun part with all the color. Okay, so as you can tell, I kept my white and my black together, and that's because this black piece is just so tiny, I'm going to lose it. And so is the white. So I am going to keep those together until I'm ready to put them on. And see if I trim this down just a little bit so I don't waste too much fabric. So I'm going to put that there and that there. And then my white, trim this one down a little bit. And then once I iron these, I literally just keep them on the fabric until I am ready to cut, because I will lose them. It's going to happen. I might even lose them right after I cut them. So now that I have those ironed down, I'm going to move these over to the side, and I'm just going to leave those on there until I am absolutely ready to stick them onto my bird. All right, I have yellow in both the regular and in the reversed. Right there, I have 2 big, huge birds. Let's see if I can move this out of the way a little bit. So I have 2 big, huge birds. I think I'm going to go ahead and also iron that yellow on. And then I can stick that over here and we'll cut that out first. And then my beautiful hot pink. Let's see if I can fit both of these right there. Might have to move it down just a little bit. Look, it's the yin and the yang. Cute. And then the birdie wing with my beautiful peach color. All right, now I'm gonna let all these cool and cut those out with my fabric scissors. I want to make sure that these guys are mirror imaged. That's why I've placed them together this way. And that way I can see everything that I'm doing and make sure everybody's mirror image. The other thing I'm doing is making sure that my little feet here are staying at least 1/4 of an inch above, and then I've got my 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. And so I've had to do a little bit of jockeying. I love how this leg is just a little bit different than the others. Gives a little bit of character. This head's a little bit smaller than the others. That just means it's hand sewn and it looks adorable. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut out my whites. One of the things I didn't mention is that I'm using a white on white or a tone on tone fabric. And sometimes tone on tones have the ability to trick you into thinking that you're on the wrong side when you're on the right side. And so don't be tricked by those fabrics. I almost got tricked by this white. And so I thought I'd mention that, is that sometimes it just happens. Now I'm kind of lucky because the eyes are the same on both birds. And so I can just sort of position them. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these. I'm going to position them how I like them, but I'm going to put them, I'm going to do everything I can to make them opposites. It's so funny when you put the white on and then you add the black. It's amazing how right now it just looks like a funky bird. But you put that black on that eye, and all of a sudden you have this piece of art. And then the black is also how you can decide whether you're looking up, you're looking down, sideways. The eyes say it all. It's so cool. And then once you're happy, you just iron it down and go to the sewing machine. I am going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone by doing these together. So I'm going to start with the white, and then I'm going to do the white on the other bird, and so on and so forth. That way I can get these done pretty quickly, and I don't have to change threads too much. I'm also starting with the white because the white is a nice small thing that I need to think about. And then I'm going to go straight to the yellow because those beaks, those feet are going to be something I need to think about. I've already changed my stitch to my blanket stitch. I am going to go ahead and tack this down. And then I'm doing a little bit, I just want to make sure I avoid the black. There we go. And so I think I'm ready to go. And I've knocked for this one my stitch speed way down low so that I can make sure I have the opportunity to pivot, because that sucker is going to go fast once it gets started. And I want to make sure that I stay around that white. And like I said, it's the first time I've done any appliquing today. And so anytime you're getting started, one, you're fresh. So do those little things while you're fresh. Two, you want to make sure you're warmed up a little bit. So take it super slow. Otherwise, you'll make a mistake. And with these different colors, it can definitely, I want to make sure that that one is, so I'm going to go in like that. That way I know it got in there. And then I'm going to tack. And let's switch to the other birdie. Doing the same thing. You know, I use that hand wheel quite a bit when I'm going around these. Making sure that I'm going to get not onto that black. All right, I'm going to switch to the black and get the black of the eye, and that way I know I also will not lose my little black eyeballs, just in case they didn't get completely stuck down with the heat. Sometimes they'll fall off, so we'll go ahead and make sure they're in place. All my eyeballs are done, so I'm going to switch to my yellow thread. Remember, I have that gray in the bobbin, so the only thing I need to do is change the yellow. And again, I am lining this up really close using my hand wheel. I'm going to tack that down and then use my blanket stitch to go around. You are welcome to use a zigzag or a straight stitch going around these pieces. I just happen to like the blanket stitch because I feel it gives me a lot of maneuverability, and it certainly looks cleaner when I'm done with it. Now, I am still going around some tricky spots, and so for me, it's a little bit easier to go super slow and use that hand wheel quite a bit just to make sure that I'm staying in where I want to stay. And I can maneuver things better if I'm going slow. Once I get to my pinks, I will be able to turn that speed right back up. Tack in place, and I can move over to the next thing. I do want to show you how with this little claw right here, I did go out a little bit, but it is so minimal that no one will ever see it once your project is completely done. And there they are. Take your time, do one bird at a time if you have to, but anyone can applique just a 5.5-inch square block at a time. And we're getting to the point now where you could start mixing and matching these blocks and figuring out if you want to do something totally different with this. And so keep watching. We're coming up next video with the little flowers here. And so that's what's coming next. Share, like, subscribe, comment, all that other stuff, and we'll see you at the next video.